Thanks for tuning into my channel. I'm Kidest, and this is where I share tips, insights, guidance on co-creation, manifestation, personal development, consciousness evolution, empowerment, and all of that good stuff. And today I wanted to bring you some good news from around the globe. One of the things that I talk about often on my channel is, the value of focusing on the good. And this is an active practice I do regularly. I look at, my personal experiences, my professional experiences, things in my community, and I go, what's good? What can I notice that's, going well? What's working? What's going right? And I thought it would be a really lovely way to wrap up 2024 by giving some attention to the good that's happened all around the world in the last year. Now, there is a lot of good happening each and every day. There are thousands of good deeds being extended around the globe by good people, by well-intentioned people all around the globe. And I just want to highlight some of the positive things that happened around the world in terms of discoveries and the like to give you a, a positive, optimistic note to reflect on when you look back at 2024. So here we go. What went right around the world in 2024? Scientists discovered a freshwater reserve in Sicily that dates back 6 million years. They think it dates back that long. Now, the significance of this is that finding fresh water in any region that needs it is valuable. It can mean a number of positive things for that community. So that's good news. Green energy wins in the EU. Now, in that region, wind and solar power generated way more electricity than fossil fuels in 2024. This is inspiring for many of the countries, the nations that are striving to achieving similar clean energy targets. It says it's achievable. Keep making that effort. We can do it. I was really happy to discover this bit of good news as someone who really enjoys seeing individuals grow. I also enjoy hearing about countries, nations experiencing that kind of growth. Now, there are rising economies around the globe. 9 of the world's top 10 fastest growing economies are in sub-Saharan Africa, with innovations in climate-resistant infrastructure and clean energy. This is exciting to see because a growing economy, a booming economy translates into a reduction in poverty, an increase in income, more economic development, more improvements in different sectors of that country or nation, and economic diversification. I want to see, all the nations on the planet doing well, all the people on the planet doing well. And this takes us a step in that direction. What's really encouraging is that when you look at the top 20 of the fastest growing economies in the world, you'll see that countries on all the continents are included. So countries on all the continents are experiencing a, a rising economy, and that's inspiring. I love me good nature news, and this one was heartwarming. The scientists are actively studying the impact of climate change on various species of animals. The polar bear is on that watch list, and what scientists experienced this year was a breakthrough in technology and tracking technology with a stick-on GPS that lets them really understand how polar bears are adapting to climate change. What that means is understanding their behavior will support scientists in coming up with the solutions that can ensure that the polar bear is conserved, that they're saved, that they're able to adapt to the changes and really survive. Some really, really inspiring breakthroughs in gene therapy. The really encouraging thing about the successes scientists are experiencing in this area is the potential wide scale application to solving a number of health challenges across the board. The breakthroughs in 2024 included giving 5 children who were deaf from the time of birth the ability to hear. Additional breakthroughs, cutting-edge therapies have been put in place with inspiring, encouraging, life-changing results in cases of Alzheimer's, ALS, and a rare enzyme deficiency, hereditary uh, deficiency disorder that has shown significant improvements. Again, this is just the beginning of what scientists will begin to really discover about the value of gene therapy in resolving some previously challenging and rare diseases for human beings. So hooray for lifespan improvement, quality of life improvement, and healing and well-being being a possibility for many who may not have had that hope before. This is a fun discovery on the gender equality front. Now, the Gender Equality Index is a tool to measure the progress of gender equality in the EU, in the European Union. And it's developed by the European Institute for Gender Equality. And the index benchmarks national gender gaps in the EU on economic, political, education, and health-based criteria to encourage and really create that accountability to close that gender gap. This is so encouraging to see that there's, an entire group of countries who are actively striving toward achieving gender equality goals. Now, the European Union scores 71 out of 100 on that index, and you can go onto the EIGE website to see where all of the countries in the EU rank and how that calculation is made and how that tracking is helping countries achieve their gender equality goals. You may have heard in the news that countries like Sweden, Iceland, and Finland are close to closing that gender gap. So again, this is one of those things where, there are countries achieving these goals, which means other countries around the globe can also reach those milestones. It's inspiring. If they can do it, we can do it. That kind of mindset is what comes from seeing these successes around the world. This is exciting. This was exciting in 2024 for me as someone who lives in Canada, seeing the PWHL, the Professional Women's Hockey League, launch with teams from the US and Canada was inspiring, exciting. Seeing those, hockey arenas filled with women week after week, with young girls, with men and women cheering on these, sort of trailblazing teams was fun to tune into week after week. So that was some big hurrahs in women's sports. The WNBA also announced that it's expanding to Canada, with Toronto having its first women's basketball team joining in 2026, I believe it is. So that's exciting. So some strides forward on the gender equality front for women in sports in the North American side. And Paris 2024 saw the first gender equal Olympics event. So again, some really encouraging, inspiring forward progress on the gender equality front. When I came across this bit of news earlier this year, I thought, what? They're 3D printing homes? When I first learned about 3D printing, maybe 5-6 years ago, what was possible was, printing little figurines and little artifacts and whatnot. Now they're printing entire homes through technology. Now this is fascinating from someone who's, a bit of a tech nerd, but the value of this is several fold. One is 3D printed homes are being made from recycled plastic. So that addresses both, more eco-friendly homes, creating more eco-friendly homes, creating more affordable housing, as well as, reducing plastic waste. Repurposing plastic in this way, I think, is pretty genius, and I was excited to see not only progress, but there are communities that are now living in 3D printed homes. It's exciting, it's encouraging, it's a viable and reproducible solution that can take place in many parts of the world. So hurrah for groundbreaking architectural eco-friendly development. A bit of more good news in the tech sector. The Google's quantum computing uh, system, Google's Willow chip, solved complex problems in minutes that would typically take supercomputers trillions of years to solve. I thought this was amazing. The significance of this is that quantum computing, the ability to solve complex problems at this rate, can mean expedited and revolutionizing solutions in sectors across different industries, from logistics and supply chain to the development of new life-saving medication, can happen more rapidly with accuracy, efficiency, and all the things that could improve human life in a number of different areas. So this was a big win on the tech front, a kind of win that fills me with hope for big improvements, big changes in the future. This was a bit of, really spectacular news. Conservationists successfully reintroduced a bird that was previously extinct since about 1980 back into its natural habitat. The fact that conservationists can achieve that kind of thing, gives us hope for preserving and protecting life on planet Earth. So this was a bit of good news to celebrate. And that's a cute bird. More on the nature wow side of things, scientists discovered 27 new species in Peru. One of the things that I say is, there's still a lot we don't know about nature. There's still a lot to discover about our planet, whether we're talking about that discovery of the freshwater reserves that's 6 million years old, or the discovery of 27 new species. There's still a lot for us to learn about our planet, for us to uncover about the treasures on our planet. So this was, again, more fantastic nature news. The 27 new to science species include 4 mammals, 8 fish, 3 amphibians, and 10 butterfly species. How neat is that? There you go. There's a little bit of a highlight of all of the really neat things that are going on, a month after month on our beautiful blue planet. What went right in your life? What went, well in your own community in 2024? I've seen a lot of improvements in my own life and in my own community, everything from, newly paved roads and bicycle lanes to improved accessibility additions in different parts of the city. There are lots of good things that you can pay attention to and notice if you take the time to focus on the good. If you enjoyed this tip on deliberate creation, personal development, consciousness evolution, be sure to visit my website for books, courses, and more to help you in your personal development and personal transformation journey.